Well, welcome back to Fixing Things, Fix It channel. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something useful today. When you're trenching in conduit, it pays to remember where your drain tile is. You see right down here, I cut through my drain tile with the trencher, and I knew it was there. I forgot about it. And calling utility locating service would be the ideal thing to do, but they weren't going to find this because they didn't put it in there, and there's nothing in there they can locate. So that's just my plain screw up. Sorry I didn't loop you in on running this conduit. It's pretty simple. You just get a trencher, you dig across here, lay the conduit in, push the dirt back on top of it. But fixing this here drain tile, that takes a little doing. Because the first thing you got to do is dig all this out where you can get to the ends right here. Then you can take a sharp knife. You want to cut those off flush. And then you want to go down to your local hardware store first, big box store second, and get some supplies. What you're going to need is a length of new drain tile. And sometimes that only comes in 50 or 100 foot rolls. But if you go to the local store, a lot of times they'll cut you off what you need instead of making you buy the whole daggone roll. I went down to the Home Depot and they had them in 10-foot sections. So I got 10-foot section. Then you got to get a couple of these here fancy connectors. Oh. A couple of these here fancy connectors. There they are. And that's what you're going to use to put them all back together with. So, let's figure out what we need. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need is a good old tape measure. I've got the ends trimmed up here on both sides, and I need to put in a piece of replacement that is 26.5 inches long. So the second thing you're going to need is a sharp knife. 26.5 inches long would be right about there. And we'll take and cut that. Move that aside. Next, these here connectors. The idea is to give them a snap in there. There they are. That's one end. Oh. There we go. Now we're making coffee. All right. This here is fairly flexible. So I'm going to get that in there. And get this all worked in. All right. Now some people, and I'm guilty of it too, will pour cement around these joints to keep them from leaking. Some people will duct tape them. There's all kinds of crazy things. But what I've learned is that these pipes, most of them have perforations. So who cares if the joints leak? As long as they stay together. And this here is wedged in there, it will stay together. And that there is essentially how you fix that. The last part of this is the manual lever. Make sure it's snug to the bottom. Start covering it back up. Now these drain tiles on my house, my gutters run into them. On other houses, they go around the foundation, and what they do is they collect excess water and they run that water away from the house so you don't get water in your basement. On my particular application, whew, I put these in here because my gutter downspouts come across my driveway. All right, I'm gonna finish the rest of that with a machine. All right, so here's what I'm telling you. In my particular application, my gutter downspouts come right here, and they would ordinarily drain into my driveway, and then the water would run right down my driveway into the front of my garage. And the solution for this was put in a Schedule 40 PVC across the driveway over here underneath these railroad ties where they tie into that drain tile. And down there at the other garage, there's another one, another downspout ties into that. Runs the water right out there to my piñas. And look at them piñas, ain't they big? My word. Whew. All right, so I've got two of them. Here's another downspout. Goes right down here into the Schedule 40 PVC, across the driveway to the railroad ties. Takes a 90 right there, runs straight down the ties. Ties into the other gutter I showed you previously, ties into the garage gutter, and all that water goes out there beside the garage where the flowers drink it up. Okay. So anyhow, here's the important takeaway from this lesson. If you're going to get a trencher and trench across your property, particularly if you live in a town or city as I do, always call your utility companies and get the utilities marked. And keep in mind that if you got a drain tile like I had, they're not going to find that. You got to remember where you put that all by yourself. And if you didn't put it in there, you're likely to hit it and have to fix it. And that, my friends, is how you fix it. All right, if you like these little projects, please subscribe, follow me on YouTube, comment on the bottom if you like. All right, have a good day.